Pride leads to destruction and arrogance to downfall. Proverbs 16:32. Blessed day everyone and welcome to our live stream. Again, this is your brother in Christ, Jose Renboy Perez Cariaga. Muli na naman po tayong nagbibigay pugay sa lahat-lahat ng mga kapatiran, kaibigan, sa lahat-lahat ng mga tumatangkilik ng programang ito. Saan dako man kayo ng mundo naroroon, anong oras, anong araw man niyo panoorin ng broadcast na ito. Ang pagpapala sana ay sumasa ating lahat-lahat po. Hindi po ito rerun, talagang ginamit po natin muli ang Proverbs 16:32 dahil may kinalaman pa rin po yan sa bagong lection po natin. Fourth Sunday pa lang ng 2025 at sabi nga natin, blessings are overflowing. Kaya tama talaga yung pagkagamit ng Psalm chapter 65 that the Lord crowned the year with bounty and our carts overflow with abundance. Yet last Sunday, we talked about when blessings become curses or ginamit natin talaga yun na pride leads to destruction and arrogance to downfall. Last week, we discussed about Uzziah's pride na talaga naman, he overstepped his boundaries. Hindi na niya alam kung saan yung limitations niya. Hindi na niya alam na hindi niya dapat pinanghihimasukan ang isang bagay na hindi ayon doon sa kanyang job description. Kung meron sanang job description. So that was Uzziah's pride. And we dealt with that. And we are thankful that God uses Uzziah for our learning para po sa ating ikatututo. Ngayong umagang ito, we will be discussing Hezekiah's false assurance. Dahil ang buong akala ni Hezekiah, there will be peace in my lifetime. There will be peace in all the days of my life. Or pinanghawakan niyo yung sinabi ni Isaiah that I will defend Jerusalem. Hindi makakapasok talaga sa kanya mga invaders. And si Hezekiah, naniwala siya doon. Subalit, may nakalimutan si Hezekiah at tatalakayin natin yan. Ito lang ang bukod tanging narrative that tinalakay ng tatlong aklat. 2 Kings, Chronicles, Isaiah, at hindi natin malaman kung sino talaga ang original, no? But I would believe that it comes from Isaiah being the prophet na isinulat sa mga kings kasi lahat ng nagagawa ng mga kings ay isinusulat din ng mga naglalagay ng talaan, chronicles kung tutuusin natin. So, pwede nating gawing title natin, Pride and Destruction Part 2 itong Hezekiah na gagamitin natin. Who is or who was King Hezekiah? And why is it that 3 books wrote 3 identical narratives na ang pagkakaiba lamang nila is yung chapter and verse divisions? Alam naman natin, bago dumating yung mga chapter and verse divisions, isang running narrative lang yan. And we will be dealing with Isaiah chapter 39 na magiging batayan natin dahil si Propeta Isaiah talaga ay binigyan niya talaga ng diin yung last days ni King Hezekiah. So, nilalaman ng tatlong aklat na to will be Sennacherib invades Judah, Judah's deliverance, and then hindi sila magkakapareho doon sa Hezekiah's sickness and recovery. Pero yung envoys from Babylon, pare-pareho pa rin sila. Pero bukod tangi si Isaiah nga, ang sabi ko, si Isaiah ang nagbigay talaga ng isang buong kapitulo para talakayin lamang yan. So, let's start with King Hezekiah. We will be using 2 Chronicles at saka ang 2 King. Okay. Isa siguro sa pinakamagandang description for a king is written about King Hezekiah. This is what is written. kahit sa Chronicles at saka sa Kings. It says, Hezekiah trusted in the Lord, the God of Israel. Judah, the southern kingdom, never had another king like him, either before him or after his time. Ganon kataas ang pagtingin nila kay King Hezekiah. Kasi alam naman natin kung sino sinundan niya na king. Alam din natin kung sino ang susunod sa kanya na king, yung kanyang anak niya na si Manasseh. So, he was faithful to the Lord and never disobeyed him. Matinding assurance yun, never disobeyed him. Anong ginawa nating title? False assurance. So, even if you don't disobey, can you displease God? Pero pinapangunahan ko na ng kaunting lection natin. Ang isang bagay pa is that aside from never disobeyed him, he carefully kept all the commands that the Lord had given Moses. Carefully kept all the commands. How can you go astray? Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. How could I go astray? How could I displease God? Yung mga talagang honest to goodness na obedient dyan, yung mga nagbabantay talaga to the T o to the letter talaga yung pagbabantay nila or pagtupad nila ng mga kautusan. Here is a king. Here is a chosen one of the Lord that never disobeyed him and had carefully kept all the commands of the Lord. Yet, bakit natin ginawang title yung false assurance? Nag-shift ba talaga kaya? Talakayan natin. And let us also make it na panahon na upang manalamin din tayo. Dahil marami tayong matututunan sa mga great men in the Bible, great men who trusted God, great men whom we look or whom we put upon a pedestal at buong akala natin, napakagagaling, napaka-perfecto nila. Yet, ngayon na pag-aaralan natin, teka nga lang bakit kaya? And so, we move on. King Hezekiah. Nung panahon ni King Hezekiah, mayroong isang emperor, mayroong isang world power, ng kanyang pangalan ay si Sennacherib, si King Sennacherib of Assyria. Noong sugurin ni Sennacherib ang Southern Kingdom or ang Kingdom of Judah at umpisa niyang kubkubin ito, lahat halos ng mga nasa paligid niya natakot kay King Sennacherib. Gaano lang ba naman kaliit na kaharian, ang kaharian ni Hezekiah. And to think, Southern Kingdom lang ito. Hindi ito yung buong Israel. Kung titingnan nyo, napakilit lang rin ng bansang Israel. Nahahati pa sa dalawa dahil 10 tribes sa kabila, 2 tribes dito sa baba. At kung titingnan natin yung mga attribute claims, yung mga ipinangangalandakan talagang pinagsisigawan ni Sennacherib at ng kanyang mga tauhan kung sino si Sennacherib, ito yung mga titulo, ito yung mga inaamin niya, nakatangian niya o attributes niya. One, he is the king of Assyria. Dahil yan talaga ang titulo na pinanghahawakan niya. Pero ang second, because he is the emperor of the known world, he is the king of the world. May mga inscriptions pa ito na matatagpuan talaga ang mga writings na ina-attribute sa kanya ang titulong the king of the world. Hindi lang siya king of the world, kundi dahil ang buong akala niya at ang kanyang claim na ginagawa niya ang lahat-lahat at pinangungunahan niya or pinamumunuan niya ang buong mundo because mayroong pahintulot ang mga Diyos at yung kanyang pagiging Nag-claim nga siya na divine. He is being the vice regent of the gods. Kalaan mo yan? Assistant ng mga Diyos. So, isa din sa mga nagsasabing Diyos-Diyosan o maliit na Diyos. And mayroon pa siyang isang claim, the mighty one, the chosen of Asher. Kaya nga Assyria, Asher. The God of the Assyrians, si Asher. So he is the mighty one. Siya yung pinili. Siya yung chosen one. Siya yung, nako, pagka isipin yung maigi, chosen, pinili. The Christ, mighty one. Pero that's too much. That's overextension. Pabayaan na muna natin si Sennacherib. Ano man kanyang gagamiting titulo sa kanyang sarili. Walang basagan lang ng trip. He is the breaker of the enemies of Asher. Lahat ng mga hindi magpapasakop sa kalooban ng kanyang Panginoong si Asher ay i-break niya. So he is the breaker of the enemies of Asher. And I think itong sumunod na claim ay talaga namang out of this world because he is the conqueror of the four corners of the earth. Yan ang tawag niya sa kanyang sarili. Na makikita din natin pagdating ni Alexander the Great na sa murang edad na 31, wala na siyang makita talaga na ibang kaharian na pwede niyang talunin. So, conqueror of the four corners of the earth. And isa pa talaga ang ginamit niya. He is the king of the universe. Tingnan niyo ang daming claim. Yamang siya ang emperor of the known world. Siya ang emperor, siya ang may pinakamalaking nasasakupan. And he has subjected all the known kingdoms. So, king of the universe. Lumabas ba siya? May interterrestrial wars na ba noon? So, tingnan niyo maigi. Nung ipinadala niya ang kanyang mga tauhan against Judah. And this is what he says. Sinulat niya, binasa ng kanyang mga tauhan. And it stays, don't think that the Lord will save you and that He will stop our Assyrian army from capturing your city. Huwag kang mag-isip ng ganon. Why? Don't listen to Hezekiah. The emperor of Assyria commands you to come out of the city and surrender. You will all be allowed to eat grapes from your own vines and figs from your own trees and to drink water from your own wells. Sapagkat nung panahon na to talagang si Hezekiah, dahil siyang gumawa ng aqueduct, siyang gumawa ng water system, hindi siya nagpalabas ng tubig mula sa kanyang imperyo o mula sa kanyang nasasakupan. Tinakpan nila lahat ng sources ng tubig upang sa gayon, ang mga Assyrians ay walang inumin. And this time, sinasabi ng tauhan ni Sennacherib na you will be eating your own wells. Until, ito na naman yung mga wordings natin na until, the emperor resettles you in a country much like your own. So, ugali kasi ng mga Assyrians is bubunutin nila ang mga inhabitants just like what they did doon sa Northern Kingdom, Israel. Matapos talunin ng Assyria ang Israel, nawala na sila dahil inilagay sila sa ibang dako. Ang tawag doon ay yung pagbubuhat ng ng mga tinalo na ilalagay mo upang hindi na sila muling makabuo at muling maghimagsik. So, yan ang promise niya. And kung titingnan ninyo, there seems to be just like yung promise from Egypt to Canaan. And here is Sennacherib saying from the promised land to his own version of promised land. Listen, much like your own where there are vineyards to give wine and there is grain for making bread, it is a land of olives, olive oil, and honey. Kung ang promised land is a land flowing with milk and honey, parang sinasabi niya, ito, mas matindi because grain for bread, olives, mas mahalaga kaysa milk. Olive oil, mas mahalaga kaysa anumang oil and honey. Kung doon is milk and honey, itong kanyang pagdadalhan sa inyo is with olives, olive oil, and honey plus yung grain. If, condition, you do what He commands. And the assurance that you will not die but live. And don't let Hezekiah fool you into thinking that the Lord, your God, will rescue you. That is written in 2 Kings chapter 18, 30-32. Ang tindi ng promises. Ang tindi din ng threat na to. Hindi kayo ipagtatanggol at ginamit pa nga niya what happened to all of the gods. At ang kanyang sinabi is, we even trampled the Nile. Yamang tinapos na nila ang pinuntahan ang Egypt. A bigger kingdom and a bigger country than Judah, so to speak. Subalit hindi nagpatinag si Hezekiah. Si Hezekiah to combat such upang manatiling malakas ang kalooban ng kanyang mga tauhan, ang sinabi naman niya is, be determined and confident. Huwag kayong matakot of this Assyrian emperor or the army he is leading. Huwag kayong matakot sa kanila. Sapagkat mayroon tayong higit na kapangyarihan yung mga nasa panig natin kaysa sa yung mga nakikita ninyo sa labas. At one point, sinabi pa nga ng Rabsake, bibigyan ko kayo ng ganito kadaming libong kabayo. Tingnan ko lang kung may makakasakay doon. Sapagkat alam nila na limited lamang nga ang mga soldiers at ang mga kalalakihan sa Judah at that time. Inulit pa ni Hezekiah. Sabi pa ni Hezekiah, he has human power. But we have the Lord our God to help us and to fight our battles. Maalala ko din, ano? Just like, be still and know that I am God. Sinabi ng Diyos kay Moses. And Moses was panicking, sabi ni Moses, anong gagawin ko? Be still and know that I am God. I will fight your battles. Dito din, inulit ng Diyos kay Hezekiah, magtiwala ka. Magtiwala kayo. Our God will fight our battles. Because of this, the people were encouraged by these words of their king, and they take that to heart. God is in control. Anong magagawa sa akin? 10,000 may fall at my side, but my hope comes from the Lord, maker of heaven and earth. No wonder he is being admired by all. And ang nangyari nga is that the promised deliverance ginawa ng Panginoong Diyos. Sa susunod ng mga bersikulo, makikita natin kaagad-agad. The Lord sent an angel that killed the soldiers and officers of the Assyrian army. So the emperor went back to Assyria disgraced. Nasaan na itong co-regent of the gods? Nasaan na itong chosen one ni Asher? Nasaan na itong mighty chosen one of Asher? And the breaker of the enemies of Asher? And think of this. Gawan natin ng napakatindi talaga na pagpapakita ng Diyos who is in control. One day, when he was in the temple of his God, nasa loob siya mismo ng templo ng kanyang Diyos na si Asher, he was killed, murdered by his own sons with their swords. Akala ko ba, yan, napakatindi, no? From the claim na sinasabi niyang mighty and the chosen one and the breaker of the enemies of Asher. This time, hindi siya kayang protektahan ni Asher. Hindi siya kayang protektahan ng kanyang Diyos. Sa sariling tahanan pa mismo, isinagawa ang krimen na pagpatay sa kanya na nag-claim King of the Universe. Nasaan ngayon yung pagyayabang ano? Nasaan ngayon yung sinasabing, hindi kayang protektahan ni Yahweh o ni Jehovah or ng Lord God ang Israel because I am the mighty, the chosen one of Asher. Because of this, the Lord rescued King Hezekiah and the people of Jerusalem from the power of Sennacherib, the emperor of Assyria, and also from their other enemies. Dahil dito, namuhay ng tiwasay ang mga tao ng Judah. Pwede na naman na sana natin gamitin, ano? And they live happily ever after. Kung ito ay fairy tale, but it is not. He let the people live in peace with all the neighboring countries, and many people came to Jerusalem because of this. Maraming nagpasalamat kasi nga, ano bang uring emperor itong si Sennacherib, bringing offerings to the Lord and gifts to Hezekiah. So that, upang sa ngayon, from then on, all the nations held Hezekiah in honor. Because of such deliverance, because of such standing his own ground, because of such faith, because of such submission, nagsasabing, our God will fight our own battles, our battles. And so, all nations held Hezekiah in honor. Oh, Hezekiah's illness. Alam naman natin, chapter ng mga kasunod. At dito alam natin na si Hezekiah was so sick and he was about to die, but he said, remember. And he reminded God ano ang kanyang ginawa. And God had seen his tears, heard his cries, and he sent again ang prophet Isaiah who promised him recovery. Pero hindi siya makapaniwala. At humingi pa siya ng assurance. How will I know that I will recover from this sickness? And Isaiah gave him a sign. Ano gusto mo? Yung shadow will move 10 steps forward, pahabain ko yung shadow, or anong gagawin mo? Sa halip na nandito ang araw sa kabila, ang shadow ay hindi pa forward, kundi ang shadow will move 10 steps backwards. Kaya dito natin nagagamit yung sundial, and the shadow moved 10 steps backwards. Kailanman hindi na muling mangyayari ito. Dahil bumalik talaga ang shadow ng 10 steps backwards and Hezekiah recovered from his near-death sickness. So, his recovery was known worldwide. Yun nga lang, di ba nasabi na natin, he never violated or never was a disobedient king. But what we read in 2 Chronicles chapter 32, verse 24 down through 26, is that Hezekiah was too proud to show gratitude for what the Lord had done for him. Saan ito? For that recovery? Kasi walang thank you talaga doon eh. Hindi kagaya ng iba na pagka may problema siya, pupunta kagad-agad siya sa templo. Pagka may problema siya, sasangguni siya kagad-agad sa Diyos. But this time, nakalimutan yata ni Hezekiah ito. So, he was too proud, pride na naman, to show gratitude for what the Lord had done for him. And Judah, ito na ngayon, and Jerusalem suffered for it. Pagka ang leader mo talaga nakakalimot, kasama ka talaga doon sa mga nadadamay. Ay, nako. Finally, however, Hezekiah and the people of Jerusalem humbled themselves, and so the Lord did not punish the people. And here is the dreaded until na lagi kong pinopoint out. until hanggang saan na hindi paparusahan ng Diyos ang mga taong ingrato, ang mga taong hindi marunong magpasalamat, ang mga taong hindi marunong tumanaw ng utang na loob, ang mga taong magsasabi lang ng kanilang version of the story until after Hezekiah's death. So it means, naparusahan ba sila? Yes, of course. Isa nga doon is yung 70 years na kanilang captivity. Babylonian captivity, mangyayari at sila ang magsasuffer dito. So, let's move on. From Isaiah chapter 39, ito makita natin. At the time Merodach-Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent envoys with letters and a present to Hezekiah, for he heard that he had been sick and had recovered. Talagang worldwide, talagang nakilala kung ano man ang sickness niya at that time, hindi natin may paliwanag, pero near death talaga yan. Yet the Lord, pinakita sa kanya, you will recover. And this is the assurance. Hindi nga lang siya marunong pasalamat noon. And because of this, noong gumaling na siya, the Lord blessed him. Kaya naghanda siya ng saan niya ilalagay ang kanyang mga ginto, saan niya ilalagay ang kanyang treasures. And he built stores, storeroom for his treasures. And even yung kanyang mga horses. So, nung magkaroon ng envoy from Babylon, siguro flattered masyado ang king na to. Ang layo ng Babylon, the far. Kung saan man ito. And Hezekiah welcomed them gladly. And ito na ngayon ang nangyari. He showed them his treasure house. The silver, the gold, the spices, the precious oil, his whole armory, all that was found in his storehouses. There was nothing in his house or in all his realm that Hezekiah did not show them. Anong nakain ni Hezekiah? Why would you be showing them? To boast of your power? Kung powerful ka, hindi mo na kailangan ipakita pa yung power mo. Kung talagang mayaman ka, hindi mo na kailangan magmayabang pa. Kung talagang meron ka, hindi mo na kailangan ipamukha na meron. Yun daw kaibahan ng mga bilyonaryo sa mga nagpapanggap na milyonaryo. Ang bilyonaryo kaya niyang mag-t-shirt lang, pero ang mga nagpapanggap na mayaman, kailangan talaga ang mga suot at ang mga tatag talaga dun ay signature. Sa kanila, anumang isuot, anumang gamitin, okay na. Pero yung mga nagpapanggap talaga, gustong patunayan na sila ay ganito. So with this, anong kulang kay Hezekiah? KSP din ba si Hezekiah? Kung totoong mayaman, then wag mo nang ipagyabang. Kung totoong meron ka nito, then bayaan mo that let kwento be made. Sapat na yon. Then Isaiah the prophet came to King Hezekiah and said, what did these men say? And from where did they come from? Hezekiah said, oh, they have come to me from a far country called Babylon. Tapos tinanong siya, what have they seen in your house? Nagyabang pa si Hezekiah, oh, they have seen all that is in my house. There is nothing in my storehouses that I did not show them. Bakit mo ipapakita ang mga kayamanan mo? Walang pagkakaiba, bisita mo, tapos pagyayabang mo laman ng passbook mo, ng bankbook mo, wala, papakita mo laman ng lahat-lahat ng kayamanan mo sa loob ng bahay. Mabuti lang pagka sa akin, makikita talaga nila lahat-lahat kasi pamilya ko meron na wealth. Kaya sabi ni Isaiah sa kanya, Hezekiah, hear the word of the Lord of hosts. Behold, the days are coming when all that is in your house, lahat-lahat ng mga yan, and that which your fathers have stored up until this day shall be carried to Babylon. Layo nun, wala yan. Nothing shall be left, says the Lord. Ito pang kasunod, and some of your own sons who will come from you, yung talagang sarili mong mga anak, your own seed, whom you will father, shall be taken away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Kung pinagmamayabang mo na ganito ka ka-powerful, ganito ka kayaman, ang mga anak mo, mga apo, ay magiging lingkod lang sa hari ng Babylon niya. Alam niyo, kung sino mang sabihan ng ganito, dapat sana maalarma ka eh. Pero ibahin natin si Hezekiah. And Hezekiah said to Isaiah, the word of the Lord that you have spoken is good. Okay. Prophet Isaiah, good. That was good. Thank you for the reminder. Why was he like that? Bakit siya naging ganon? Sapagkat iniisip niya, there will be peace and security in my days. The Lord promised, the Lord will fulfill peace and security in my days. Hindi nga siya nag-violate. Hindi nga siya naging disobedient to whatever law. Hindi nga niya sinabing, hindi ako nagtiwala sa Diyos. Hindi ako sumunod sa Diyos. Pero nagkaroon siya ng false assurance, thinking that there will be peace and security in my days. Question King Hezekiah, what about the future? What about your children? What about your grandchildren? Anong mangyayari sa kanila? Kaya tama na naman dito yung pride comes before destruction. He was so proud because of the promise at nasusulat nga ni Isaiah that the Lord will defend Jerusalem, that the Lord will give him, and he was assured, peace and security all the days of his life. Pero anong nangyari sa kanyang mga apo, sa kanyang mga sumusunod na salinlahi? Binitbit sila pagdating ng 606 BC, first deportation papuntang Babylon. Second deportation, 597. 10,000 craftsmen. Rivers of Babylon. Third deportation, 586. Destruction of the temple. Oh, hindi ba naintindihan ng haring ito ang magiging consequences ng kanyang pagyayabang, pagpapakita ng lahat-lahat ng mga bagay-bagay na ito at hindi pag-take seriously doon sa warning na ibinigay sa kanya ni Prophet Isaiah. The word of the Lord you have spoken is good. Good. So, warned ka na eh. Bakit hindi ka nag-take man lang ng precautions? It could happen to the very best. Pride comes before destruction. May the Lord God guide our hearts from pride. Oo. Hindi siya disobedient. Never was. Never defied God. Never violated God's command. But he got drunk with success and power. And he was so drunk with God's assurance that there will be peace and security all the days of your life. He relied on that false assurance yun eh. Ganon din ang karamihan sa atin. Marami sa atin ngayon sa panahon natin at marami ang mga nagtatanong sa akin, Brad Ron, paano to? Na sinasabing ganito ganon. Dahil ang hahawakan lang is John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. I believe in him, so I will not perish and I will have an everlasting life. False assurance. False assurance. He that believes and is baptized shall be saved. I was baptized, then I shall be saved. Pero tanungin mo, gaano ka katiyak na ikaw ay maliligtas? I hope so. I hope I'm good enough. Ano nangyari? False assurances. False security. Kaya, hindi talaga naiintindihan yung totoong mensahe na nagbibigay buhay. Even Hezekiah have seen it with his own eyes, have experienced it with his own life. Subalit, he got drunk. And he relied on those false assurance. Sana dito lang tayo sa blessed assurance that Jesus is mine. Again, matatapos na ang buwan ng January and we'll be moving forward to the next month. Blessed New Year, everyone. Muli, itong inyong kapatid, Jose Roniboy Perez Cariaga. Salamat po.